Okay, my name is Reed Neufelder, and for my persuasive speech topic, I am doing returning to the original rule on hitting a quarterback in the NFL. So in my speech, I'm briefly going to cover three topics. The first one, the old NFL rule for hitting the quarterback. The second is the new rule that they have implied for hitting the quarterback. And lastly, I'm going to cover why I think they should change the rule back. So for the old rule, the old rule, you could hit the quarterback as hard as you wanted to, as long as your head was up and the contact was not helmet to helmet. You could fall on the quarterback and drive him into the ground as long as you didn't pick him up. And usually a penalty was only called if you hit the knees or below. And this rule was good for the NFL because it didn't delay the game, and it allowed for the game to continue more smoothly. And it also didn't penalize defensive players for playing how their position is taught. So the new rule that has been implemented this is a quote directly from Adam Stites at SB Nation. A rushing defender is prohibited from committing such intimidating and punishing acts as stuffing a passer into the ground or unnecessarily wrestling or driving him down after the passer has thrown the ball. The defensive player must not unnecessarily or violently throw him down or land on top of him with all or most of the defender's weight. Instead, the defensive player must strive to wrap up the passer with the defensive player's arms and not land on the passer with all or most of his body weight. So basically, this rule is saying you can't land on the quarterback. You can tackle him, but if you land on him, you're getting a flag for it, and you're 15 to 20 yards every time. And the problem with this, which I'm covering in my third point, is it's caused injuries to defensive players. William Hayes tore his ACL trying to avoid a penalty on a sack, and this is from Lorenzo Reyes of USA Today. It's nearly impossible to tackle the quarterback now. If you hit him and fall on him, you're penalized. If you don't hit him, he throws a pass for a touchdown or hands it off. So they're basically putting defensive players in a position where they can't do anything. They basically have to wrap him up and lay him down. Green Bay linebacker Clay Matthews has been flagged 3 times this season for unnecessary roughness on plays that should be legal hits, according to Brian Miller of Fansided. And I actually watched all 3 of these plays, and according to the old rules of the NFL, this is the cleanest hit you can have. But with the new rule in the game, he's flagged every time for doing what he's taught to do at a linebacker. And most of these guys in the NFL that are defensive players, they've been playing since the time they were 10. Like, this is something that they've been doing since they were 10 years old. And now all of a sudden the NFL is coming in and they're saying, hey, you can't hit the quarterback hard. You have to hit him gently and you have to lay him down, because if you don't, we're going to flag you for it. Which, in my opinion, is not fair whatsoever to the defensive players. It makes the game way too easy for the quarterback. It lets them pad their stats. They can throw all they want and not have to worry about getting sacked, because they're going to get 15 yards every time they do. And it makes it so basically the offense can run as smoothly as they want to, and the defense kind of just has to play pass protection. They can't really blitz, which is rushing to the quarterback, trying to tackle him. They really just have to play back and wait for the quarterback to do something. And overall, my opinion on the entire thing is just, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have rules on hitting the quarterback. I'm just saying that the rules they have on hitting the quarterback are not fair to players in the NFL. And I think they've done a bad job with the rules necessarily, and I think they've done a bad job officiating the rules, because they call it sometimes and they don't call it other times, which, if you're going to have a rule, you got to call it all the time. But a rule like this should never have been put in the NFL. So that's my persuasive speech topic, and I hope you leave here thinking the same way I do. But if you don't, I'd ask you to just look into it a little bit more and maybe try and see my point of view.